Please note this meeting is being recorded by the Town Council and where possible live streamed on YouTube. Please note that the recording device is sensitive and the live stream may be recorded by third parties, so do not say anything you do not want recorded. If necessary, I will direct all recording in the room and live stream to be stopped, but generally I want to avoid doing that. So we will normally record everything except any item taken in closed session. Members of the public may also make their own recording and must follow our rules for doing so, including stopping recording when requested. Whilst we do not accept anonymous speaking at the public forum, members of the public who wish to speak but do not want their name published must please indicate this before saying your piece. Thank you very much. Okay, so welcome everybody to the meeting of the Haverhill Town Council on Monday the 24th of June 2024. Got the date right today, and not to get that wrong. Okay, first item on the agenda is apologies for absence.
Chair, we have apologies from Councillor Crooks, Councillor Davison, Councillor Lucarini, and Councillor Page.
Thank you. Item 2, declarations of interests and requests for dispensation. Members declare any interest they may have on any item on the agenda and to give any dispensations to stay. Councillor Andre.
Thank you. Item 7B is a non-pecuniary interest. I am associated with Suffolk Scouts. I don't think I need to leave, so I request dispensation.
Okay.
So, other registered interest, non-pecuniary doesn't exist in the law, so it's pecuniary, other registered role.
Yes, another registered.
Other registered.
Just reports.
This is the Explore Outdoor.
They're sponsored by Suffolk Scouts and some of the events.
But it's just to receive the reports.
It is just received, well, we'll note it anyway, but we've got dispensation because it's very well known.
I've been criticised in the past, but I'm not declaring any interest. It's very remote. It's more than local.
Thank you very much. Thanks for bringing that to attention.
So that you can have a vote on that.
Even though it's just reported to me.
No,
Okay.
So we've asked for dispensation.
Yes, fair enough. So Councillor Hanlon to allow dispensation, seconded by Councillor Mason. All those in favour? Thank you very much. Item 3 then is the minutes of the meeting of the Town Council held on Monday the 13th of May 2024. It's confirmed that they are to the record. And you will see those minutes and they are on the screen at the moment. This is from the town meeting, annual meeting on that day. So just need a proposer first. Councillor Burns, seconder. Councillor Martin, all those in favour? Thank you. And
Do you want to do the notes action or do you want to take the two speakers?
I'm going to take notes first. That's okay. So item 4 then, just to note the progress of any actions arising from the minutes not covered in the agenda. Right, so
we now have the police report.
okay. Item 5 on the agenda is the reports from the district county councillors and members of the issues pertinent to Haverhill and the public forum. So 5A is a police report. Please say we've got Jack Oakley here this morning today. So the floor is yours. Yes, thank you.
Yes, hello. Thank you very much for the invite. I think I've met probably the last drop with you. For those I haven't met, my name is Jack Oakley, and I'm the newly created local beat officer for the town centre, the Chalkson estate, and the Clements estate. But in all honesty, it would encompass all this side of the town, so I also cover the industrial estate as well. And that role was created along with a number of other roles to cover other areas in Haverhill, just to basically connect back with the community. I think we appreciate that was something we did lose when it changed last time. So I'm responsible really for all crime matters in them areas. It is a large area to cover, obviously, me on my own. I do it with another officer who works sort of back to back with me. He's also got his own responsibilities. But I'm here to field any questions you may have about them areas. I don't know obviously every single thing that's happened, certainly that response team have gone to recently. But I'd like to think I'm fairly knowledgeable on the vast majority of them areas. So if there's anything, any burning questions you'd like to ask me or anything in particular.
Any questions for Chairman? Sorry, Councillor Montgomery.
Are you able to shed any light on what opportunities you have to address parking outside schools at the beginning and end of school days?
Yes, so we've done, I don't know if you're aware so far the work we have done on that, but there has been a lot of work done with the schools, with council. I know that I've done work with you, John, on it. It's not something the police will focus, I must be very honest and just say how it is, it's not something the police will focus their sole energies on, because as you very likely know, parking has been decriminalised, so it really remains the responsibility of the council unless it would fall under a dangerous obstruction. And although annoying and improper, I'm not sure that the parking at the schools, certainly in my opinion, would fall under dangerous obstruction. So we look to the council to lead on that, in all honesty, is my answer.
We did know there's plans to put double yellow lines around Clement School. Did you have you heard about that?
That's not something police have led on, no.
No, I wonder if you'd heard about that at all.
No, I haven't.
Okay, that's going through consultation at the moment, I believe.
Yes, consultation.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Formal plans, yeah.
That's a great idea.
Okay. Is there anything that sort of stands out that's a problem at the moment?
Certainly, overwhelmingly, I live in Haverhill. Overwhelmingly, Haverhill is a very safe place to live, I would say. As you know yourself with your statistics, certainly statistics available on our website, crime in Haverhill is on the decrease. Certainly, when it comes to theft of motor vehicles and stuff like that, which we have had. Something which we do struggle with and have struggled with for quite some time is youth ASB and street drinking in Queen Street mainly. But there are steps we've taken to address that. So, for example, on Saturday the 6th, I'm going out with Alicia Manning. I don't know if you're aware of Alicia, but she's done some fantastic work with the Alcoholics Anonymous group and the Narcotics Anonymous group. And we're visiting every individual street drinker to try and educate, I suppose you could say, and divert them rather than enforce it. There is enforcement options available, but as we know with things like that, you can enforce it all day long, it will just happen again. So we suit everyone, certainly suit the criminal justice system if we can try and divert them away rather than deal with them criminally, certainly first off. But it isn't. Go on.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'll just go on this, but you've got this engagement event. Is it Sunday the 3rd?
It's the 28th of July.
Okay, did you want to expand on that at all?
Yes, so fingers crossed, dare I say it, it's certainly got a lot better, but sort of early summer we had an issue with careless and sort of antisocial motorcycling in Haverhill, mainly really on the Clements and the Wreck, certainly that area. And I don't know if anyone saw, but I did a press piece with Paula Armstrong, who was sadly bereaved of her son in 2007 in fairly similar circumstances, where she spoke to the paper about the sort of terrible tragedy that happened to her family. But on the 28th of July, I'm lucky enough to have secured the Roads Policing Unit for Suffolk to come down and do an input with the virtual headsets and the advanced motorcyclists to talk to the kids about sort of safe motorcycling and stuff like that. Because really, you know, if you sort of strip it back, I guess you could say, to what it is, it's young teens really driven by love of motorcycling. So I'm keen really to try, if I can, to come in off the back of that and try and again divert them through the love of motorcycling rather than deal with them criminally. We have dealt with some criminally. We've seized a number of bikes and we've worked with Haverhill quite closely to find out which garages are void and which garages may be storing sort of poor motorbikes. And a poor motorbike, if you haven't heard that term, is a motorbike that's got no documents whatsoever and is passed around people to basically ride around.
So, is there anything we can do as a town council to help find that?
It's certainly something I'll take away and think about. What I would appreciate actually is nearer the time, if I send you the details, I'd appreciate it massively if you put it out on your social medias and your sort of website and newsletters and stuff like that. I'd appreciate it.
Thank you. Councillor Brown, did you?
Yeah, Jack, really appreciate the work that you've been doing around the Old Railway Walk.
Oh yes.
It's something that we've invested a lot of time and effort as West Suffolk County Council and Haverhill Town Council to make it a sustainable corridor right the way through the town. There has been quite a bit of drug dealing in that in the past, as you well know, and drinking maybe not so much of a problem as it was, but really appreciate any extra patrolling or whatever you can do, and you have already been doing that, just to, because the more we can encourage people to use that, it's a sustainable way of getting from east to west, west to east across the town. It links the parks. I've noticed as well, now we've sort of got the whole lot tarmacked, the amount of footfall along there is absolutely astronomical compared to what it used to be, especially in the winter months when in the past half it was muddy tracks. So anything you can do down along there, that is really, really appreciated, just to make it a safe space for everyone. Thank you.
I suppose.
Jack, you know that, as you mentioned, you and I done quite a lot of stuff together.
Yes, yeah.
And I think it's very important that we encourage those partner agencies to step up to the market.
Absolutely.
As we know, we try to do this on the estate inspections you mentioned. Haverhill, for example, and garages, we all know there's some dubious things in garages.
Yes.
I think the thing that one thing is certainly raising the profile a lot is the social media stuff. I know not everybody's on social media, but a lot of people are, and I think that's very good. It is a shame that we've only got you and Andy. Steve's gone up to acting sergeant.
Sure.
It'd be lovely if we had a few more people about.
It really would.
Because obviously you do whatever it is, 4 days on, 4 days off, whatever the figure is, so sometimes it's not there. But I think it's very important from a council point of view that we encourage people to report it. There are so many different ways of doing it now. Not just the 999 and 101. There's the online. There's the chat system. Online chat. Obviously, you can email the CPT at Haverhill. I think it's really kind of benefits to make sure that they make sure that they do actively report things, otherwise they're currently moaning when things don't arrive, and people are probably reporting it, or put it on Facebook and expect police to read Facebook. So thank you very much indeed, Jack, for what you've done over the last to become public security. It worked extremely well. I'm very dubious to start with, but I think it's really worked quite well.
Thank you. In the past, you've said that you've had trouble when you've done these searching garages getting access.
Yes.
Is that been resolved now?
I must be very honest. The response I've had from other agencies has not been what I wanted it to be. That's me being honest, really. I appreciate it's been recorded. And that really has made policing it and dealing with it more difficult than it needs to be. That's my opinion.
Yeah, can we work together on that? Okay, anybody else? Any questions for Is it okay? No? Okay. Thank you very much for coming along. Now, you're welcome, more than welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting if you want to, but I'm sure you'll do this person. I'm not sending you back out on the street to do a crime, just playing.
May I just say something quickly?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you very much for what you said. I just want to update you actually because just coming on from what you said, Councillor, about the railway, you may well have seen it on social media. There was a fantastic result the other week when we managed to get Kestrel down. Now, I'm sure you've seen it in the press, don't wish to bore you, but Kestrel is sort of a proactive team of Suffolk Police, and we can bid for them to come down and support us locally. And they was on the railway line, and they come across, in fact, the call come in actually, about a amount was suspicious on the railway line. So they went up there, they found a man and they stopped and searched him, and he was found to have 2 phones on him, a significant quantity of cash and drugs, and he was arrested for possession with intent to supply, and he's going through the court system now. And although I have to be very careful what I say, I think that stop and search has probably given us into something a lot bigger. That's probably come from elsewhere than Haverhill into Haverhill, if you see what I mean. So I just want to pass that on. That there is definitely work going on up there, and we do what we can up there. But, thank you very much.
Thank you. Obviously, we'll speak to you sometime in the future. You're
Yes.
welcome at meetings anytime, every month.
You've got my email address. If you ever want me to come and talk about anything particularly, more not to obviously email me or contact me. But I will contact you near the time if you don't mind in regards to that road safety day, because I'm very keen to have everyone turn out as we possibly can.
You see it Saturday, are we?
Yes, if not me, it'll be Andy.
Okay.
But there'll definitely be someone there. I think we'll be happy with that.
Yeah.
But, right, well, thank you all very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'll let you glass there. But, right, thanks again. All the best. Take care, please.
Yes. I think if you don't mind, we'll move on to item 7, public grants over 2,000. We've got Mr. Johnson here to speak on 7A, which is consider a grant of 4,000 to the Haverhill Local History Museum to cover the cost of the rent of the Arts Centre and the contribution towards general running costs. Grant, would you like that?
Yes, thank you, Chair. Thank you for allowing me to come here this evening. I think most of you, I know most of you here, in case some who don't. I'm Brian Thompson. I'm the Secretary and Treasurer of the Haverhill Museum, which is next door. I appreciate you've got a really full agenda here, so I shan't say too much. I hope you've had a chance to read the report I sent to the committee. It gives a real draft outline of what we've done over the previous year. It has been a full-on year. We as a group obviously appreciate all that the Town Council have done to support us, not just in the past but hopefully in the future. We have been going now for 50 years, which is quite an achievement, although I've only been there for the last 2 or 3 years, so I can't take any credit for that. But if there are any questions on my report or the accounts or anything, then I'm quite happy to answer.
Yeah, first I apologise, I just called Mr. Johnson, I don't know why I said that. John,
Well, I think we all know the local history museum, right next door, as it were. And not only Brian, but all the other trustees and committee members do there, not just stuff here and elsewhere. They get the Armed Forces Day on Saturday. I think it's a massive asset to us. It's just a shame that we can't provide more space. Have to charge more money, but it's more space. So I'm going to propose the full 4,400.
Yeah, that's a proposal. Do we have a second? How's that, Mike?
Do you mind if I just speak?
You can speak now.
I think Haverhill's cultural identity is massively strengthened by the work that the group does. They're an integral part of so many things that happen in Haverhill, and I think I fully support full grant application.
Anybody else want to comment? So, just like to reiterate the words that Councillor Burns said. Yeah, it's a great asset to the town. So we'll put straight to the vote then. All those in favour? That's like unanimous.
Thank you very much, and really appreciate
Thank you.
Thank you.
As I said, you may stay if you wish, but I'll be more than welcome to it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll carry on to 7B, get item 7 out of the way, which is receive a report from the Explore Outdoor on the February 2024 half-term activity attached. Hopefully you will have seen the report. Got anything to say?
No, you may have seen in the report that there's a concern that the main funding is coming to an end. I don't know whether that means they're going to ask for more funding, because at the moment the council was funding the half terms. This is a report about just the February half term, but the programme that operates over the main holidays has been funded elsewhere. So it's going to be a bit interesting, I think.
So we funded part of the October half term and the
October and February half term.
That was last October,
Yeah.
so we're not funding anymore. Okay.
Well, I'm going to say we're not funding
No,
it,
so
but
what they're currently going to fund.
yeah.
Councillor Hannah.
Yeah, can I ask a question on activities unlimited? Because that used to be funded by Suffolk County Council. Is that still
So
the
that's
case?
so the funding for the main holidays, Easter, summer, they were funded by the principal authorities, but that funding has, for the half funding, that's come to an end. So I don't think Edinburgh know exactly how they're going to be continuing this through this summer holidays. I think this will be the last year, and then it's after that.
It's disastrous news because that special needs, all sorts of special needs have that one, which is disastrous for them, well, especially for their parents more than anyone else.
I think the biggest problem I have is people book and they don't turn up, isn't it? People dropping off.
Well, yes, but I think, you know, those are the figures. Haverhill's not the worst, it's not the best.
It generally is. Take up's definitely the worst.
Yeah, if people have had special needs children, you can't bank on anything. People got to realise that.
Councillor Burns.
Yeah, I think the big problem with this scheme, and many others like it, is it's all based around when you get to preschool meals, or whether you're within, I think it's 15% or whatever the figure is of, you know, there's a lot of families who are on that poverty line, who are excluded, and it seems a shame that, you know, if you look at the Haverhill figures there, 7 out of 10 turned up. Which is fine, it would be lovely if we had 10 out of 10 turned up. Now I understand reasons for not turning up, I understand that completely, but if you'd had a lot more people there, the numbers would have been substantially bigger. And it's a shame that the funding doesn't cover that. It's not obviously not just for Haverhill, it's for all the areas. But that's the way that the powers that be have decided that you're going to do it. So those people who might have quite a lot of gross income, but their net income is very low, are left out, and it's a real shame.
With,
Councillor Hannah.
yeah, with activities unlimited, you have to apply for that individually. And with the bit on school meals, free school meals, this was mentioned by the head of Samuel Ward at One Haverhill. He said that if it's so low, it's £7,000.
No?
So anyone on £8,000 doesn't get it.
Tough.
But I'm really upset about the doing away with that activities unlimited, because parents had some sort of relief. Really upset.
Okay, thank you, Chair. I don't have anything else to comment, that was just for noting.
Yes.
Sorry, you job. So we move back now to item 5B, which is the council. Councillor Mason, for a 5 seconds, give your report.
So do you mind if I just go through just a few pieces first? Okay. In May there was the annual town council, so I wasn't able to submit a report there. There's just a couple of things that I'd like to pull out and might be worthy of discussion. If you forgive me, I'm just going to read the opening section. I was delighted at West Suffolk Council. I was pleased to see that Haverhill Council has become chair of West Suffolk Council, and in doing so I wish Councillor Pat Hammond an enjoyable year ahead in his newly appointed role. It's notable that the vote for his appointment was unanimous across the chamber, and it was good for Haverhill. I've been very busy engaged in a wide range of issues in relation to projects and issues around the Haverhill-Pangle district and elsewhere, and they're on the report, and I won't go into them in detail. Since the last full town council meeting where I was able to give a report, I was fortunate enough to represent the people of Suffolk and of Haverhill at the Buckingham Palace Garden Party. It was truly an honour as only one of 2 county councillors to have been invited to represent the people of Suffolk at this year's Buckingham Palace Garden Party. Even better to share it with my wife Lisa, who in this picture was in the report, was still recovering from an operation. It was a real pleasure meeting with different dignitaries, and I was keen to focus on celebrating our county town and of course the people that do so much good in the town of Haverhill. I really did try and share as much as I could about Haverhill. Indeed, I'm very mindful that I wouldn't have been there without the support of the community that I represent as a county councillor. We enjoyed the afternoon tea and were thrilled to be in the presence of King Charles and Queen Camilla. It was a rare day indeed. It is interesting that I now sit on the Suffolk County Council Education and Children's Services Scrutiny Committee, as well as the Scrutiny Committee. I look forward to giving more feedback to the Town Council on progress being made towards improving SEND services. I'd just like to pull out a couple of topical things that have happened recently. I know Councillor Burns will probably want to talk about this, but just briefly touch upon it. We've been talking for many, many months about the return of signs to the town centre. Work has taken place, signs have appeared. We don't think it's a perfect job, and Councillor Burns and myself we're happy to do an audit until it's right, and we'll keep plugging it away. But there's still stuff to be done, but we've had movement, and it's been many months since we've been able to actually say that we've got signs up, so that's good news. Clarendon Road hit social media and the East Anglian Daily Times, and I was able to confirm quite quickly, and I'd like to share with the Council, that nothing has changed. Those rather strange temporary repairs are just temporary, and that the Clarendon Road and indeed Norton Road are due for a full resurface as part of that programme that was previously announced. Cash Access UK. I was approached by Cash Access UK, and I met with the temporary banking hub regarding a desire to find a location for a temporary banking hub. I actually signposted them to the Town Council clerk, who may want to feedback the outcomes of those discussions. Whilst they reassured me that a temporary banking hub would offer the same services as a permanent hub on the High Street, it left me concerned that plans to have High Street presence were being shelved. Thankfully, I've received further separate assurances from Cash Access UK with information that progress is being made on a High Street unit. Officially, publicly, the status is property search underway. I would have hoped contracts would have been signed by now, and hopefully it won't be too long before we hear something more positive. In the meantime, the temporary banking hub seems to be the immediate priority, and for it to be open by September. Chair, the rest is in my report. I won't go into further detail, but I'm happy to answer any questions.
Yeah, can I thank Councillor Mason for these very nice words of me being chair, his chair. It's a very big thing to do, very busy. For instance, I have 3 events today, and I apologise to the event that I managed to be 5 minutes late, the third and last event, which I'm really, really disappointed not being there, but I did apologise to everyone, and they seem to have taken it okay. But as I say, thank you for publicising. If anyone wants to have a look to my events that I go to, just look at the next full council. It'll have all the events that I've done for this particular month. Thank you.
I just wanted to ask you, Councillor Mason, you talk about temporary banking hub. Is this the same as the banking hub that we've been speaking about, or is it separate to the permanent one?
I'm happy to defer to the clerk. I'm happy to answer that question, but I know you've had discussions regarding the temporary banking hub. Is there anything?
Yeah, so it's not the same building. They have a building for the permanent one, but it's got to be converted. That will take time. They have to have a temporary hub between the time that Lloyd's close and when the permanent banking hub opens. That's what they're seeking. So I assisted them in finding locations that might be a possibility for them within the Haverhill area, but they have to do some negotiations in order to be able to get them where they can announce where the temporary hubs are.
That's what they always said in their get a permanent building. I think the lawyers will stay for another 3 months, and then if it's still not anything everywhere, they've provided some temporary accommodation. So do you want to come back to that?
No, lawyers have extended, haven't they?
They're extended to September. The temporary hub, they will take out a 6-month lease and hope not to need all of it. They'll do that. Obviously, I think the landlord has done some work on the premises that they've chosen for the permanent hub, but I guess they're now ordering all the fit-out stuff so that they can fit it all out. And once they're in position, they will then publicly announce it. They've asked for it not to be disclosed for the time being.
I was speaking to a British Legion chap. It's not the actual British Legion, but it's a group that he's in, and he said because it's cash that gives him, so that he brings in for that particular group, it's going to have to fold because he won't be able to cash it at any banks. Now, I said about the post office, but he said it's a particular bank or particular banks that they've done, and he's had to fold it, or he's going to fold it.
Well, there will be the provision for cash banking. It'll be, the idea is, I believe is like a post office counter within the banking hub. It's where we've got the model is anyway. Yeah. Councillor Martin.
I think you've answered my question, which was really to around what you were saying about the provision of, people have questioned me and asked me, will they be able to deposit money, use their debit cards, do all those sort of things? And from what I've just heard, yes, that's the answer. Yes, so that's absolutely.
I think they've got a website. We go on it, so exactly what the model is.
Yeah.
It's run by the post office because they have the technology they use in their post offices to be able to connect all the different banks.
Yes, lots of horizon.
So, Councillor Mason.
I think this must have been said, but just for clarity, even the temporary banking hub, the temporary one, will offer all the services that a bank currently offers in terms of cashier and over-the-counter services. They were real pains to make that point. My only fear was that they'll set up a temporary banking hub and it will become a permanent feature, and I was keen to press on behalf of everyone the importance of having a high street presence, but they came back and they've said the same thing to the clerk, that they are still committed to having a high street presence.
That's what we understood from our initial conversation as well.
One of the things they've said to me, and if it's useful for you, if people are asking questions, is that the Financial Services Authority does not allow a not spot. I've queried in terms of, for instance, when they were talking about permanent one, I said, well, why don't you just take over Lloyd's? You close it for a week, refurbish it in your colours, and we open it. And they said, because the Financial Services Authority, that means that Haverhill will be without cash access for a week, and it's not allowed. Literally, there's not even a day they can have. It has to be, the temporary hub has to be open first, then Lloyd's can close, and then the permanent one can open. They can't, they're not allowed, which is why they're quite anxious to get a move on to the temporary hub.
Yeah, it's important that everyone says that cash, because they've got the wrong impression that it's because I think Sparkies didn't do cash. Is that, am I correct? The name's in here.
Oh, Barclays in here don't do cash.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I think they all got the wrong end of the stick. So we need to publicise that really, that cash bit.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Councillor Mason. 5C is the District Councillor's reports. Councillor Brown.
Doing the normal stuff on things that will sort of progressing, but something sort of cropped up over the last couple of weeks. Several complaints around the state of the grass and hedges, etc., around the industrial estate. So, working with colleague Dave Roach, Joe here, trying to get something resolved to get it sorted around it's quite complicated because obviously parts of it are Essex, part of it are owned by developers, obviously Suffolk County Council and West Suffolk Council. So, but it looks like we are starting to get a bit of progress. So it's not going to be a quick fix, but just trying to get people around the table just to actually get together and sort of get on top of it, because in parts, I've seen pictures and I've obviously up there quite often. You've got bushes, 3/4 of the way across paths, etc., and grass, etc., and isn't good for access, especially if you're in a wheelchair, etc. So hopefully it's something that can get it done. But I say it's not going to be a quick fix, but
Just if we can come back really quickly on that, I must say that Mark, the Parks team and Mark Walsh, the officer, couldn't have been more helpful in a whole range of issues across Haverhill. I think we've almost had perfect growing weather, and the growth has been a real challenge, but they've been very responsive and keen to help.
I think whereas safety issue is a problem, but a bit of growth is not a problem really, isn't it? It's good for wildlife. Okay, Councillor Hammond.
Yeah, can I just say on the grass cutting, it's every 3 weeks now. I've got no idea what it was before. But they're saying it's every 3 weeks now. Now they're apparently they pulled out some areas so that you can concentrate more on the areas that need doing. So make it every 3 weeks.
Yeah, I think the bad weather pushed it back as well, isn't it? It's all relying on whether you can cut it. It's too wet, you can't do it.
Can I just say, sorry, talking about grass cutting, I'd advise anybody here, if they can, to go to the flood park and see the most amazing display of pyramid orchids that ever has been seen. They're just amazing. The whole bank is completely covered with pyramid orchids, and that they haven't cut the grass, they leave it to grow. It's just beautiful. It's worth going to visit.
I think I've heard of pyramid orchids.
Yeah, there's a little notice board, excuse me, as you go into the flood park, telling you that pyramid orchids do grow there. But this year the display is just amazing. That's it.
Just come
Sorry.
back quickly on that. I've got a meeting as part of our little team that are looking into grass cutting in the district with Mark and the team again in July. So if anyone's got anything that they want to feedback or concerns, etc., please email me and I'll bring them up at a meeting. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. It's the last month's Suffolk Council meeting was pushed back to this month because there was a lot of big items that needed to be sorted out, so it's going to be rather a full agenda at the next council meeting, so we have more to report then. Anybody else? Councillor Byrne, sorry.
Can I just add something to my report?
Yeah.
Well, one is, Councillor mentioned about roadside. Yeah, I mean, I was a bit disappointed, midnight when bunting happened, the contractors telling me, oh, we've cancelled some of the items which we obviously agreed, which I thought was, I don't know why, that sort of thing. So that's, I'm not going to go into it until we do a survey of the company. I just want to add on about the Great Woolsey Park. I had an email today from Red Row just to say they've now completed 160 units, of which 19 are affordable, occupied. They're currently still constructing where they can, but they're going to start, hopefully late summer, is what they say. They're going to start on the next phase, which I can't remember the phase number now. But the northern end, Parklands, up near where the show homes are, that area, will start later this year. So that's the latest on that.
It's 160 completed and 19
Of which 19 before.
But then they always did say that they'd be building the more unaffordable ones first, didn't they?
Well, no, because it was always, I mean, obviously overall it's going to be 30%,
Yeah.
but they always said that parts of it will be 100% non-affordable, if you like, I'm going to call it that word, and other places more densely.
Chair.
Yes.
I mean, what you're alluding to there is actually this huge site. It's going to be years before it's completed,
Oh,
isn't it?
35 to 50 years.
Yeah.
That's the whole, I'm talking about the whole 2,500 houses, covering how many acres? Is it 250 acres, something like that? Yeah, they originally thought 10 years, but, you know.
Talk about the road signs in,
Yeah.
was it Camps Road?
Yeah.
You see, are they both ways? Because I noticed there's what, he's got the sort of right of way as you come down Camps Road. But is there signs as you come down?
So if you're coming from the right end, you've got right of way over.
Yeah, I didn't notice any signs saying.
Yeah, there is a sense they can,
But it's not
prior
very
to the
obvious.
other direction.
Yeah.
And they've done the crossroads, Mark, yeah, the zebra crossing thing as well.
Yeah, so I didn't notice the ones coming past them. See one going back in. Okay, thank you. All right, thank you. Item 6, Mayor's report. Now, unfortunately, I did make some notes. I ran out of time for typing them up, but it's been a very busy month. I won't go through everything I've done, but some of the bits are really, really, really nice events I've been to, and obviously the D-Day 80th anniversary celebration was really well done. Busy day. We had the event at 11 o'clock here in the morning, and then I was over to Place Farm at 2:30 for not Place Farm, Cleve's Place for a little lamp lighting thing over there, and it was over to Ecclesbury in the evening, 5:30 service there with all the lieutenant, and then we had the beacon light. So it was a very long day, that one. We presented a young lady called Antigua with an award for designing the new signage at the Clements Community Centre. That was at Clements School. That was a nice little thing to go to. And obviously we've had Supper Day, and that was absolutely brilliant. And congratulations to Sarah and everybody involved in organising that. So I know the people from Supper Day were really pleased with how the event went. So well done to everybody for that. As I say, I've got a huge list of things I've done today, and I'll write up a proper report and have it circulated with the minutes. Okay, thank you. Anybody got any questions? Right, so we've done 7. Item 8 then is the One Haverhill Partnership to receive a report from Clark on matters related to One Haverhill Partnership.
So the board met last week, ran through a number of issues. The key points were the report from the Science Festival. And I can attach that to the minutes of the meeting so you can all see that. The board voted to request that the Town Council consider holding the event biannually, so the next one in 2026. So we'll need to kind of plan that one out and put that to a vote at some point. There was also a discussion, Community Action Suffolk have got some funding from the Suffolk Leaders Group for
Food security.
well, it's about food insecurity and looking at what can be done to relieve that. And it's a difficult topic because there's an interesting slide they have which shows it's an iceberg, and it makes the point that food is the bit you may be able to see in terms of people turning up to food banks and other food sources. But underneath it, the actual reasons behind why people are having food insecurity. The discussion then seemed to go on more in terms of what I've seen as a brief Cass has been given about how to increase the availability of food banks, food provision, etc. And I think One Haverhill, both when we had the discussion with some councillors and Liz Evans, who ran the workshop for Cass, when we talked about a project, that surely what's more important is tackling the causes of poverty that lead to food insecurity than coming up with ways to feed people. which, yeah, I mean, there was a lot of discussion after the meeting of the board, which seemed to reflect that a lot of people were slightly alarmed, perhaps, by the potential that this county-wide project, the assessment is, at the end of it, is success going to be measured by there's more availability of food banks and food provision, which is kind of like, that's entirely not the point.
No.
So I think the board were troubled by that. So there will be some kind of work going forwards, but I can't really see that it's necessarily going to be about food. It should really be more about debt advice, support for addiction, and all the housing issues and everything else. So that was quite an interesting debate. Our board members are undertaking managed to add to that. So I think those are the two main things to raise.
Yeah, as I say, I was there at that workshop as well, and it did seem the wrong way around. It wasn't just the cause of the problem, it was just trying to make it more available, which is, yeah, measuring success by failure, I guess. Councillor, please.
Just two comments. I don't sit on the board, but I attended the last meeting. Councillor Donna Higgins could have been at that meeting, and it's very interesting that families and communities will be possibly doing some programmes, I would imagine, in terms of targeting support for people. And I just wondered whether One Haverhill partnership can tap into any of the resources that West Suffolk Council have to help better identify possibly groups of people that may be on the radar of West Suffolk Council. Just a thought.
Sure.
The second point was there was a discussion about the town centre master plan.
There was a brief mention of it.
For me, I would very much have liked an action out at the end of that, even if that action was.
There was an action out of that.
Oh, was there? Because I missed it.
I could write in to West Suffolk to ask for them, can we get involved again with the master, an update for the meeting, and can we get involved again as One Haverhill, as in the task group, etc. So yeah, there is an outcome.
I'll withdraw. Thank you.
Sorry, did you say you wanted to speak there? Sorry, I wasn't sure.
I was just going to make a comment, and we're always going about food, but I was reading yesterday, our energy prices are 5 times what they are in the US. Imagine the impact that has on food, people trying to buy, at the end of the month, you're paying 5 times more for energy than comparable people in the US. That's horrendous. No wonder our industry is going to the Far East and whatever. The impact that's having and will have in this country is unbelievable.
Did you want to speak?
Sorry, I was just thinking the US, of course, don't pay VAT on their energy bills. I know it's not 3%. I know
It's
here,
5%.
still 5%. Yeah, that's the only thing I was going to say, of course, that Andy Hunter's leaving, or has left. He's now replaced by Henry Wilson as the chair of One Haverhill, just to let people know.
Yeah, it's a good point. Sorry, I should have said that. It's a good point.
I did listen at the meeting.
Maybe there's some questions about One Haverhill? No. Thank you very much. Item 9 then, the adoption of the committee reports. 9A is the Leisure and Community Committee, and to move the adoption of the minutes for the committee meeting held on the 30th of April 2024. Proposer? Councillor Hannah, second by Councillor Martin. All those in favour? Carried. Thank you. 9B is the Planning Working Party, again to move the adoption of minutes of the Planning Working Party held on the 7th and 20th of May and the 3rd and 17th of June. And recommendations contained therein. Councillor Hanlon proposed, Councillor Andres seconded. All those in favour? That's carried. Thank you. 9C, Personnel Working Party to move the adoption of redacted minutes.
I didn't get that.
We didn't get that.
No,
Okay. Good follow through. We'll ignore that one. We'll move on to 9B then, which is the Energy and Sustainability Working authority, again to move the adoption of meetings of the working party held on the 10th of June 2024 and recommendations contained therein.
There was a recommendation, isn't there?
So the one recommendation is to request West Suffolk to include Haverhill in the Eco-Bend pilot project. And we had a very good presentation from Councillor Giles, West Suffolk, at the meeting. So, proposal, yeah. That's Councillor Smith, seconded. Councillor Burns, all those in favour? Motion is carried. Item 10, financial matters. A is to authorise the following payments list. I won't run through it, but do I have a proposer? Councillor Burns, seconded. Councillor Martin, all those in favour? That's carried, thank you. 11 is to there's no action taken under delegated powers. So on to 12 is the end of the year accounts. A is significant events. And as it says there, consider if any events that occurred during the 2023-24 financial year or after the year end had consequences or potential consequences on the authority's finances which need to be reflected in the statement of accounts. One, to note the RFO advises no such events occurs. So there you go, that's just a note. So I'm glad I read that. So what B then is a review of the internal controls. One is to consider the review of internal controls for the council. Is there anything you want to comment on that?
I can bring all of these things up. It's basically we're running through a series of things that for the external audit we need votes to adopt the review of internal controls, etc. So I mean, you can take those all.
Four together.
We'll take 3 together. The internal audit report should be done separately.
Okay. So the first one was the review of the internal controls. Second one's a review of the internal audit. Third one's terms of reference, specification and effectiveness of the internal audit. So, anybody have any questions? So is that to be voted on or just no?
Yes, no.
As voted. So, no proposer, Councillor Smith, seconder, Councillor Hammond, all those in favour? That's carried, thank you very much. So, B4 then is to consider the alternate auditors' report for the year ending 2023-24 and then report to the external auditor. Have you got any comments for us on that?
No, it's the blue writing covers everything that they had to say. No, I'm just scrolling through to the end.
Councillor Stinchcombe.
I'm wondering if Colin can confirm that the correction of errors which are there
Yeah.
have indeed been incorporated in this year's account.
Yeah. So the answer is that they fell out because it was the prior year anyway. So whilst they asked us to correct it, there's nothing to correct because they don't feature in this year's A by the first year. So 2 years ago.
Wasn't there something about the word phrase prior comparatives, which
Yes.
I wouldn't know what prior
it was
comparatives hit me in the face.
So basically, I can show you in terms of the figures for this year. Let's just get this up. So basically, what there is this. So March 31st, 2023 is the prior year column. And last year, the prior year column had an error in it. And they've asked us to correct that error this year. But that error is for the prior year, so it doesn't appear relevant at all.
So that's a nonsense,
Yeah.
beyond our control.
Yeah, so that's the external audit, and there was we've changed the way we run things. There's the numbers in terms of the overstatement of internal transfers. So basically, when it comes, there's number 6, all other payments. What we have to do is we have to go through the accounts and any payment from the Town Council administration to Town Council Arts Centre, so to actually show from a transparency point of view, when the public look at our figures, they can see a lump sum grant from the Town Council to the Arts Centre. So everyone can see in black and white how much it costs to run the Arts Centre. And the same is done for the zone, for cafes, for all sorts of different things. Wherever there's actually a subsidy going on there, we make it really above the line so that the public don't have to dig through and work out whether or not there's a subsidy. They can see there's a subsidy. The prior year, of course, was coming out of COVID, and you may recall that there was a income deficit support grant in the admin being paid to other parts of the council who hadn't yet recovered their income from COVID days, and we missed one out. So all other payments in the prior year was overstated because obviously it's a payment we made to suppliers, but we'd also made it internally and therefore accounted it twice. So that's the error that they're referring to. Kerry and I have gone through, and Kerry's worked on a new system we're using on the accounts, so that they're effectively suspense accounts that we put the money in, so it doesn't get included in the main figures in the first place. So we're confident we will arrive this year. Well, we'll get to these, of course, but that was last year.
Did you understand that?
I did.
Well explained.
Okay, so do you vote on that, or yeah?
Yes.
So we vote on
number 4.
number 4, so
Yeah.
12B for the proposer. Councillor Hatton, seconder, Councillor Miller-Jones. All those in favour? Yeah, very much. 12C then is the annual accountant returns. So one is the adoption of the annual accounts. So bottom 1 is income and expenditure. So
You can do 1 and 2 together.
1 and 2 together, okay.
It's a
So
balance
it's the
sheet.
balance sheet as well then. Any questions at all for comment on this? No? Proposed vote then? Accept that. Councillor Smith, second Councillor Cox. All those in favour? Thank you.
I need you to sign that.
So 12C2, to approve the actions 1 and 2 of the annual governance and accountability return for the year ending 31st March 2024. You've got to take this separately, haven't we?
Yes.
So, the first point there is the annual governance statements. Any comments on that, so? No. So, proposer? Councillor Mason, seconder? Councillor Smith. All those in favour?
Right, you need to sign.
You're making me sign this, no, that's my fault now, isn't it?
Yeah, it has to be signed at the meeting.
Okay. 2 then is the accounting statements. Sorry.
That was a bit we just looked at.
Yeah. I'll see, yeah, that's fine. Again, any questions at all? No. Proposer, Councillor Stinchman, executive, Councillor Martin. All those in favour? That's carried, thank you.
I've got another signature.
3, earmark reserves as at the 31st of March 2024. Councillor Andre.
Can we amend line 16, 9020 to Clements Community Centre Reserve and not Leasing Centre Reserve?
Well spotted. Any other comments at all? Councillor Sacker. Beat to it. So, no proposer. Councillor Cox, seconder. Councillor Smith, all those in favour? Okay, thank you. The assets register. Have we spotted anything there that I'd comment on?
I wouldn't be saying.
You do, that's why I want to ask.
It's on screen, if you can spot it, you
No,
can say it.
I've not read it, I've read it. No, I think all I keep saying every year is we ought to do a proper physical check of things, and it's been a long time since we last did that.
Councillor Andre.
Line 55, it's the same thing.
Oh, I think there's that detail.
Important.
Search, isn't it? All.
So, with those amendments in mind, current proposer, Councillor Smith, seconded Councillor Burns, all those in favour? Thank you very much. And the risk register.
It's a very straightforward document. I don't think, do we mention the license centre here?
I wonder what that anyway. Councillor Andre, would you like to?
Lines 57 and 58, the data loss thing, this is a current issue. Are we confident that what we've got in place there is going to provide a backup that's resilient?
I'll defer to Councillor Burns on the backup and resilience. We've recently also taken out a subscription with our telephonics and comms people to monitor whether our name appears on the dark web, so that we get some kind of, I guess, alert that somebody might be gathering data. I'm not quite sure how exactly that will work. We have had an alert, and it was the very first alert that told us stuff that happened 20 years ago.
My experience tells me that the resilience needs to be tested occasionally, or it isn't resilient.
Yeah, I mean, any disaster recovery plan, I was heavily involved in my own company plan, and you get right, you know, resilience is the important thing. In terms of backups, all the systems are backed up every night. All the desktop laptops are backed up every day. Depending on whose there are, if they're only an office worker, it's normally just Monday to Friday. And then all that data is backed up to a server here, but then that server is backed up off-site as well. And we have done recovery as well on certain things in the past. And the same thing applies equally to the zone, so the data that's over there from the people who work over there is backed up there locally, and they're backed up here as well. And we keep at least, on the server, we keep at least 30 versions of the data, and on the laptops, we keep at least 2 versions of every laptop.
It's testing and resilience that's important.
Yeah, we've done recovery, in fact, we did recovery relatively recently, yeah.
Yeah, we did have an issue we had to recover.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was working for a charity back in the day, it was tape drives, and we religiously did the backups on the tape drives, and discovered about 2 years later that every single one of them was completely blank, and the tape drive was not working.
We need to do regular checks.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, have a proposer then? Councillor Cox, seconder. Councillor Andre, all those in favour? That's carried. Thank you very much. 23, that's C23/154B, C and D, and they remain in place. Noting. If we move to item 30,
Yep. So this is not quite the same as the one that was sent out earlier, because there's been some last minute adjustments to this, just in terms of that's how it kind of sits out. How to make it easy for you to see it. It's going to get very small, get what I'm saying. So the only difference is that Councillor Smith, we had accidentally thrown you off. Was it which one you wanted? Yeah, no, sorry, I was just thinking which one we.
It was the energy and sustainability, which I've been on since the beginning. This is the second year I've been left off. In metrics.
So that could actually be over there.
Not
So that should be.
Yeah.
green.
I was on leisure and community, but then I said that's fine, I can come off that. So, but I was on that.
These are chairs and vice chairs. Are we talking about the committee
This is
membership?
everything.
No, this is the membership.
This is
The
membership.
red is the chair.
Oh, yeah, right, okay. Right, I'm really wrong.
So red is deleted, people coming off committees, yellow is people going on to committees, and chair and vice chair, as they currently are actually physically written.
Yeah.
So if we ignore the chair and vice chairs at the moment,
Right.
and look at the people who are actually on those committees, are there people there that are not on the committees they wish to be on, or we're just talking about places on the committee?
Chair, can I ask if there's a place spare on the energy committee
Or
for Councillor Cox?
He's on there.
Is he on there?
Yeah, yeah.
See, I can't see that.
Yeah,
I've had trouble with my one of my eyes. I've got a big problem, so I can't really see all that.
yeah. So Councillor Cox is already added onto that.
Okay, thank you.
are there any other places on there that should be on there, or wish to be on there, or wish to come off? No? So the actual membership of committees are correct as you choose them to be. Okay? So, we have a proposer there, do we? Do we have the, or is it up to the individual committees?
Well, so in the first place, it's it's down to the council to appoint everybody to the committees.
Okay.
So that's the first vote.
So we can take them on block,
You can take the whole of 13 on block if everybody is happy with their.
places.
Yeah, nobody's been told they can't have what they want, as far as I'm concerned, unless it's happened outside of my chance.
Okay, so just the committee places to start then, have a proposer, they are happy with those, that's Councillor Andre, second Councillor Hanlon. All those in favour? Yeah, thank you. So moving on to 14. Do we normally do appoint chairs and vice chairs and not done only on the individual committees, no?
Individual committees may recommend who they want, but it's a recommendation to full council to who is chair of each committee and vice chair.
Okay.
Clearly, full council is unlikely to impose somebody onto their they want.
So we take this through one at a time, shall we? So
We can do. As far as I'm aware, the ones in green are as they were, and none of those things has anybody said they want to step away or anyone said that they would like to do it. I think the debate is around energy and sustainability, where there isn't currently a chair or a vice chair in position. I think youth advice, well, youth advice group, you don't chair it anyway. So,
Councillor Hanlon.
Yeah, can I propose Councillor Liz Smith as chair of Energy? Please.
Yeah.
Take Quinn off, please.
Yeah.
Quinn's on the committee, yeah.
Yeah.
See, I can't see that vice chair and chair, I'm sorry. So someone's just said that Quinn is
So
vice
we've got a
chair.
proposal that Councillor Smith is chair of Energy Sustainability. Can we have a seconder for that, Councillor Martin? Do we have any other proposals, Councillor Brown?
Yeah, I'd like to propose Councillor Joe Mason, not taking anything away from Liz, she would be a remarkable chair, but I think Joe is absolutely passionate about doing it. No one has worked as hard as he has around the town, to keep our environment, etc., clean and tidy, keep Haverhill tidy as a group. Absolutely remarkable work, and Joe's led on that. He's also worked to make Haverhill a bee-friendly town. He's I think, promoted two motions, one at county and one at district council around use of glyphosate. He's absolutely passionate about it. He's been a councillor since 2017. He's got the skills. He's on the county council, district, and obviously town council. I think, as he's so passionate about, I think he would make a really good chair. And that's not taking anything away from Liz, because she would be a remarkably good chair as well. I just think that Joe edges it for me, and I hope that people vote accordingly. Please.
Do we have a seconder? Councillor Burns? Just speak to it. Okay, so we've got two nominations now for chair. Just on a show of hands, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. So the first nomination we received was for Councillor Liz Smith. So I see those in favour of Liz Smith. That's seven.
Did you vote?
I didn't vote, no. Should we take a vote? Yeah.
No, it's now a vote for Councillor Mason.
Okay, and those in favour of Councillor Mason? 2, 3. Thank you. So that means Councillor Liz Smith is now the chair of the Energy Sustainability. Do we have a proposer for the vice chair? Councillor Brown. Councillor Peter Jones.
I'd like to propose Alan Sturgeon, because he's brilliant. And that's all I need to say.
And have a seconder? Councillor Andra. Any other proposals? No? So, are those in favour? It's carried. And all the other committees remain the same unless anybody else. No? Okay. Thank you very much. Item 15 then is appointment to outside bodies. To agree the appointments of representatives to outside bodies. A1 Haverhill, which would be the mayor, the clerk and 3 other councillors. And currently they are Councillor Cox, Councillor... Can you remind me, Colin?
So, yes, you see more of our councillors on, but it's because Councillor Hannon is there as the district council rep. So you have, at the moment, representing the town council, Councillor Burns, Councillor Cox, Councillor Davison, and yourself as mayor.
All right. So is there anybody, any proposal, any changes there? Is anybody else wish to be considered? If not, we'll let that roll over. Everybody's happy to do that. Yeah. Okay, so propose that. Barbara, second that. Cox, all those in favour? Thank you very much. Able Disability Forum. I think we did nominate Councillor Martin,
Yes,
didn't we?
yeah. Yeah. I attended, I think, 2, but I've had absolutely no correspondence or no emails or anything from them. recently?
I don't know whether-
You haven't know that?
They are going through a bit of a reorganisation at the
Right.
moment, and I spoke to John Eaton, who's sort of basically facilitating the group. He said they are going to be inviting councillors soon. So
Right.
although we say we've got somebody appointed to that body, it seems like we only go there as an invitee.
Yeah.
Okay. So are you happy to carry on?
Yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully I was
Yeah. So I'm going to propose that then, yeah, Councillor Stinchcombe, second, Councillor Burns, those in favour? Thank you very much. 15C was the Youth Advisory Group, which I think he was Councillor Burns and Councillor Cox.
Councillor Burns
No.
has stepped down.
Oh, right, it's Councillor Cox, wasn't it?
There's a proposal, looks like it's in the offing, for Councillor Miller Jones.
Okay. So we asked to dispense with that?
If you would wish to, well, assuming she wishes to be nominated, then somebody needs to propose a second.
There's something to nominate, Councillor Hammond.
Yeah, I propose Councillor Miller Jones. She's very keen to go on it, I know that, and do her good work on it.
Councillor Cox is second. Yeah. So all those in favour that we have Councillor Cox and Councillor Jones? Yeah. Gosh. It's carried. Item 16 to receive urgent correspondence. Yeah, I'll just have a little 16B here. What's my attention that it's now 10 years since Colin joined us as Town Council, so we thought it might be appropriate to mark the occasion with just a little bit for him. So, Councillor.
You survived.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. Well, I'll say thank you now. I'm fairly confident.
There we go.
Lovely, well, thank you very much. If you don't mind me saying, just thank you very much. And I have to say, as you know from my various emails asking you all to play nicely at elections, it's because I really value the team that I work with, the councillors, as well as the rest of the staff team as well, of course, without whom you see straight through me, so they do all the actual work. But it's been absolutely great having you guys as the people who are running the ship, and I wouldn't want it any other way. So thank you very much.
We've got our glasses available.
Item 17 then is the date of the next meeting, which is Monday the 29th of July 2024. And item 18, close the meeting.